I'm Jacoby.
I'm Chase.
And welcome to the Fantasy Otter Show. We had a crazy week in the NFL, and a lot of superstars went off.
Yeah, some examples. AJ Green, Adrian Peterson, Julio Jones had big days.
Unfortunately, that means there wasn't much waiver wire value this week, so our research team had to dig pretty deep to bring you these.
Yeah, so we're going to start off position by position, and we're going to go with my choice at quarterback.
All right, get us started strong.
Now, I want to just let you guys know, with all these injuries going, all these Jay Cutlers, Drew Brees, Tony Romo's, Ben Roethlisberger's, and the buys with Tom Brady and Marcus Mariota this week.
Can you get your point?
My choice, and I'm going to be the devil's advocate, is Michael Vick. Yes, that Michael Vick.
You kidding?
I'm not kidding you.
See, this is why nobody watches our show.
Yeah, well,
because you're treating it like this is a Madden franchise from 2005, saying to pick Vick.
I love Madden, and I love fantasy football, and I'm picking Michael Vick. He is owned in less than 1% of leagues. And
yeah, no duh.
He's a great plug-and-play this week. Now, all he fails to realize is Michael Vick is owned in less than 1% of leagues. He is playing in the greatest.
For that.
He's playing one of the best offenses the Steelers has ever had. Antonio Brown, Marcus Wheaton, Le'Veon Bell, and all of the rest of them are in this great lineup, and Michael Vick can only thrive.
Okay, let me save the show while we still have viewers. My quarterback this week is Derek Carr, somebody who's actually good. In fact, he's actually above good. He's owned in only 19% of leagues, which is surprising because the past 2 weeks he's gone off. He had 1,314 yards, 314 yards on 2 touchdowns last week, and the previous week, 351 yards and 3 touchdowns. This is above average. This is a QB1. This is somebody that you can ride with. So definitely get Carr.
Yeah, moving on, running back, I'm going to choose Lance Dunbar.
Lance Dunbar and Michael Vick.
Yes.
You're just following it today, aren't you?
Lance Dunbar and Michael Vick. Now, Lance Dunbar is more of a PPR value flex play, only owned in 13% of leagues. Only had 1 rush for 5 yards, but I was looking at the catches. He had 10 catches for 100 yards. That's what you want to look for in a PPR league, and that's gold.
Yeah, definitely with the buys, you're going to need some plug and play. Another guy that I'm drawing my eye towards, 40% owned, that's talking about Alfred Blue. He didn't do much in week 2, but week 3 he came onto the scene. He got 31 touches. That's insane. He proved he was good for it with 140 yards on the ground and a touchdown. This is somebody that you're going to want to watch. Proceed with caution situation. Arian Foster is obviously the lead back in Houston, and he's returning soon. But I say ride out Alfred Morris while you can.
Yes. Moving on to the wide receiver position, I'm going with the Miami Dolphins' Rashard Matthews. Only owned in 16% of leagues, but he's had a great past 2 weeks. Over 110 yards in those past 2 weeks, and specifically this week he was 6 for 113 and 2 touchdowns. Solid production for a guy who's barely owned in any fantasy leagues.
Yeah, definitely. You know he's coming right behind Javaris Landry, and that's something that you're going to want to watch as Tannehill has a pretty good matchup this week. Moving on to my wide receiver pick. This is a guy that is a wide receiver 2, maybe a flex. We're talking about Ruben Randall. Good plug and play if you have Julian Edelman or a different receiver that you need somebody. Randall's only owned in 28% of leagues, so that means there's a good chunk of leagues that you can go get him right now. 7 receptions, 116 yards, and a touchdown this past week. That's not going to be an average, but kind of think of it as the James Jones, Aaron Rodgers situation, because Eli's definitely looking as well.
Yeah, touchdown dependent, definitely. That's where his points are going to definitely come, so be cautious, guys.
Yeah, coming from the guy that told you to pick up Michael Vick, he says to be cautious.
And Lance Dunbar.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's move on to tight end. This is a situation that is very shallow. You know, we've talked a lot about tight ends on the show, but we had to scrape up something. So let's see if we got a deep enough pick.
I went deeper than deep. I picked Gary Barnidge of the Cleveland Browns.
Who?
Yes.
I've never even heard of him.
Yeah, well, Josh McCown definitely knows this guy. He found him 6 times for 105 yards and a touchdown. Now, if that's not solid production, I don't know what it is. And Josh McCown looks to be looking at this guy all the time.
All right, let's see. Well, obviously, Rob Gronkowski owners, this is going to be key to you guys. I say you go out and get Charles Clay. This is a guy, I don't know if he's everyday, but definitely a plug-and-play for this week. He has 5 receptions for 82 yards this past week. He's only owned in 14% of leagues. So that's somebody that you can plug and play if you're a Gronkowski owner.
And then finally, we have a not so short-term and not so long-term either by either of our standards, but Eagles defense. Only owned in 42% of leagues. They're not terrible, but they're not elite.
Yeah.
They'll definitely get the job done if you're looking for the
Yeah,
defense.
this is a defense that forces a lot of fumbles. They're going to get pressure on the quarterback. I mean, Philly's pretty screwed up right now, but it's not the defense's fault.
Yeah.
All right, so that about does it for today's show. We got some big stuff coming up on the Fantasy Otter channel. As you guys know, we're in the prime of all MLB right now. We got the postseason coming up.
Yeah.
It's a crazy postseason, the most crazy postseason I've seen my entire
I
life.
remember.
Lots of crazy stories. The Astros, the Blue Jays, the Mets, the Pirates, the Cubs. So many insane stories. And we're going to have a roundtable discussion about that with MLB analyst Philip Tanner. That's going to be coming up on the channel soon.
Also, gotta get into your panic button theory.
Oh yes, the panic button. Wah, 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 wah. This is an episode that we've been focusing on for a long time here at the Otter. We've been writing it and playing around with it. Basically, the panic button is a theory that after 4 weeks of fantasy, you can still make playoffs by completely remodeling and scraping your team. If you're 0-4, 1-3, that's definitely going to be something that you need to watch. Jared, you need to watch it. Please watch it. Anyway, that's something that is going to help. And that's our show for next Monday, so definitely tune in.
Definitely want to excite the viewers into our future Madden game.
Yep, we got some fun stuff coming up on the channel. Just a little chillaxing, playing some Madden.
Yeah.
Winner gets to host the next show. That's exciting. Got to give a shout out to my boys at the Fantasy Couch. Usain, you're the best. I look up to you, and we like your help. Definitely go check out his channel. That's the Fantasy Couch. He's got great stuff for daily fantasy. And if that's something you're into, I definitely think he's a great guy to go get some advice from. That does us for today. Definitely make sure to leave comments, subscribe, and hit us up on Twitter. Till next time, watch your waivers, don't trust the system, Otter knows. Absolutely. Speaking of digging, let's talk about your quarterback pick this week.
Definitely. I am going to be the devil's advocate and tell everyone to pick up Michael Vick.
What?
Yeah. He's loaned.
That sounded so fake.